Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of Jamaica's biggest attractions, Dolphin Cove. Is it that bucket list dream come true, or something else? We've dug into what real visitors are saying to give you the inside scoop. You know that picture, right? Swimming with dolphins in some perfect Jamaican bay. It's the ultimate vacation goal for so many people. But what's the reality behind those glossy photos? So, we've pulled together what actual visitors have said to help you figure out if Dolphin Cove is the right move for your trip. Let's get into it.
First things first, let's be clear. Dolphin Cove is a big deal. It's an award-winning park, it's got 5 different spots across Jamaica, and it's set in this beautiful natural lagoon right on the ocean. And one thing you hear over and over is how great the staff is. Super friendly, and they really know their stuff.
Okay, now this is probably the most important part of planning your day here. It all comes down to picking the right dolphin package. Nail this, and you're going to have an incredible time. But if you get this wrong, well, it can really change the whole vibe of your day, not to mention your budget.
So they have a few different options, but really it boils down to these 3 main ones for most people. And you really need to know what makes each one different so you get the experience you're actually paying for.
Let's break these down, because the names can be a little confusing. So, the Encounter is kind of the entry-level one. You don't have to be a great swimmer to do it. You'll get gentle interactions like a hug and a handshake. If you want more action, you need to level up to the Swim Adventure for a belly ride. And then there's the Royal Swim. That's where you get that iconic foot push that sends you flying through the water. So the big takeaway here is you've got to decide what's your thrill level. Figure that out before you click book.
And look, to show you just how much this matters, check this out. We saw this story from a vlogger who booked the Encounter package, and she thought, okay, I'll be standing on a little platform in the water. But nope, she was surprised to find herself all the way in the water, like deep water. For someone who isn't a strong swimmer or has some anxiety, that little mix-up can turn a dream day into a super stressful one. So details matter. Okay. And a really quick but important note for anyone coming in on a cruise. We've seen some chatter, especially on cruise forums, that the really high-intensity swim packages might only be available if you book through the cruise line itself. So, bottom line, if you're dead set on that foot push, you absolutely have to double-check this with your cruise line or the park directly.
Okay, so you've had your big moment with the dolphins. Now what? Well, it turns out there's a lot more to this place than just the main attraction, and you can seriously make a whole day of it if you know what else is there.
So if you want a little break from the sun and the water, there's this jungle trail you can walk through. It's a really nice, shady path that lets you see some other animals. You're going to see these cool parrots, iguanas just chilling on the rocks, and even some really cute rabbits. It's a great way to slow down the pace for a bit.
Then you've got the aviary. And here, you can get super up close and personal with some pretty bold birds. Yeah, we saw one story from a visitor who was totally thrilled, but also, a little freaked out when the birds just started landing all over her head and shoulders. So if you're a bird person, it's a must-do. If not, maybe just watch from a distance.
They also have a whole pirate thing going on, which is pretty fun. There are all these statues that are perfect for goofy photos, and my favorite little detail is their coffee shop. It's called Star Buccaneers. Get it? Pretty clever. It's a fun spot to grab a coffee and just chill. And hey, let's not forget where you are. You're in Jamaica. Your ticket also gets you access to this really nice, calm beach. So you can just kick back on a lounge chair, or if you've still got some energy, you can grab one of their kayaks and just paddle around the cove. It's a really nice bonus. Okay, and for the real thrill seekers out there, if swimming with dolphins wasn't enough for you, you can also have encounters with nurse sharks and stingrays. But, and this is a big but, this is almost always an extra charge, so if holding a shark is on your must-do list, make sure you've got room for it in your budget. All right, we need to talk about the photos because this is something that comes up in pretty much every single review, and how you get pictures of that big moment, well, it's a huge deal here. Okay, listen up, because this is the one policy that seems to catch everyone off guard. It's a big one. You can't bring your own camera. No phone, no GoPro, nothing. Not allowed in the water with the dolphins. If you want pictures, you have to go through their official photographers, period. So what that really means is, budgeting for photos isn't just an idea. It's something you have to do.
And, like this visitor pointed out, it can be a pretty hefty extra cost. They paid another $55 per person just for photos, and that's on top of the ticket price. You can see how that would add up like crazy for a family.
But, to be fair, let's look at the other side of it. Perspective is everything, right? Some other folks felt the prices were actually pretty reasonable, especially if you compare them to what other big marine parks are charging around the world. So it really just depends on what you're used to paying.
Okay, so let's boil all this down into a super simple checklist for you. These are the key things you need to know to make sure your day at Dolphin Cove is awesome.
All right, first things first, book online ahead of time. Seriously, one vlogger we saw waited in line for 30 minutes. Don't be that person. Number 2, know your package inside and out. Read the fine print so there are no surprises when you get in the water. 3, remember that no camera rule. Decide on your photo budget before you even get there. 4, plan to make it a full day. Don't just do the dolphin swim and bail. Enjoy the jungle trail, hit the beach. And number 5, this is a great tip. Check if lunch is part of your ticket. Some packages include it, and hey, free food is free food, right?
So there you have it. That's the real inside story on Dolphin Cove. Now you know about the different packages, you know about the photo costs, and you know about all the other stuff there is to do. So is this that once-in-a-lifetime dream adventure? Or is it just a really expensive photo op? At least now you have all the info you need to make the right call for you.